Hello everybody, Eric again. Like and subscribe. Here we go. Let's read about G is for Gumshoe. G is for Gumshoe, 1990, is the seventh novel in Sue Grafton's alphabet series of mystery novels, and features Kenzie Mahone, a private eye based in Santa Teresa, California. In G is for Gumshoe, Kenzie Mahone meets fellow investigator Robert Dietz when someone hires a hitman to kill her. While Kenzie is being stalked, she uncovers an unsolved murder that haunts the lives of her client, Mrs. Irene Gersh, and Irene's mother, who uses the alias Agnes Gray, the title of an Anne Bront novel, and other developments in Kenzie's personal story. She uses her VW car, and her friend, Vera Lipton, becomes engaged. Plot summary. Three things happen to Kenzie Mahone on her 33rd birthday. She moves into her remodeled apartment, which has finally been finished. She is hired by Irene Gersh, a sickly Santa Teresa resident, to head out to the slabs in the Mojave Desert and locate her mother. And she gets the news that Tyrone Patty, a particularly dangerous criminal she helped the Carson City Police Department track down a few years back, has hired a hitman to kill her. After her first night in her new place, Kenzie heads out early the next day in search of Mrs. Gersh's mother, Agnes Gray, who lives in a trailer in the desert. Agnes isn't home, and the trailer seems to be occupied by two teenage runaways, but Kenzie eventually tracks Agnes down at the local convalescent hospital, where she has been since being taken suddenly ill on a trip to a local town sometime before. Agnes, 83 years old, has not been a model patient, and the hospital staff are delighted to hear that she has relatives who can take responsibility for her. Irene makes plans to transfer Agnes to a facility in Santa Teresa, but Agnes seems terrified of going there and tells Kenzie a confused story about a number of people from the past, including Lottie and Emily, who died. Kenzie makes plans to come home, but before she can do so, a man in a pickup truck deliberately runs her off the road, seriously injuring Kenzie and totaling her treasured VW automobile. Kenzie recognizes the driver as a man traveling with his young son she has seen a couple of times on the journey to the slabs, and realizes she needs to take the death threat against her seriously. She hires Robert Dietz as a bodyguard. His vigilance initially frustrates Kenzie, who is used to making her own decisions, but they soon begin an affair. Dietz discovers the hitman is Mark Missinger, who absconded with his son Eric 8 months previously. He arranges a meeting with the child's mother, Gumshoe, who is desperate to get her son back and offers to help her. Meanwhile, Agnes goes missing only a few hours after getting to Santa Teresa. She is soon found, yet she dies of fright within a day. Kenzie and Robert Dietz suspect she was kept prisoner somewhere before her death. Irene suffers a serious panic reaction when she sees a tea set Kenzie found among her mother's possessions, and Kenzie suspects this has triggered a very old childhood memory. Further anomalies occurred when Irene tries to fill in the paperwork relating to the death. Kenzie realizes that Irene's birth certificate is faked, and that Agnes Gray is a pseudonym. It's Kenzie's CFI colleague, Darcy, who points out Agnes Gray is the name of a novel by Anne Bront, which seems to link to the name's family and Lottie, Charlotte, Agnes had mentioned. Kenzie tracks down a family called Bront Finn, who match the circumstances Agnes described, and surmises that the surviving brother of the family, Patrick, murdered Lottie and Emily. She is convinced that when Patrick killed Irene's mother, Sheila, Agnes Gray, and Anne Bruffin, a third sister who took off with Irene to protect her, changing their identities and posing as the young Irene's mother. The three daughters were presumably named for the Brunt sisters, which explains the alias Anne chose to use. Patrick faked Anne's death in order to gain sole possession of the family property. Kenzie is convinced that Patrick is responsible for Agnes's death to cover his past crimes and discovers evidence of further killings at his home. When she confronts Patrick, she is interrupted by Messinger, who kills Patrick. Dietz and Rochelle, who have managed to get Eric away from Messinger, and Messinger's stated intention is to use Kenzie as a hostage to exchange for Eric. As she drives Messinger to the airport at gunpoint to intercept Rochelle, Kenzie is convinced Messinger will kill them all, and he succeeds in killing Rochelle's twin boy, who was attempting to help her escape with Eric. However, Rochelle outsmarts Messinger and kills him first. In the epilogue, the third contract killer hired by Jerome Patty is apprehended, and Patty himself dies as a consequence of a jail altercation. Dietz leaves to pursue his plan of providing anti-terrorism training on military bases. Characters: Kenzie Mahone, private investigator hired to find the 83-year-old mother of her client. Reception: Jesper Gumshoe was honored with both the Private Eye Writers of America's Shamus Award for Best Novel and Bertrand Kahn's 1991 Anthony Award for Best Novel. The reviewer for the School Library Journal considered the book oriented towards adults and suitable for young adults, as well, and wrote that this light mystery maintains interest to the end. Bye for now. Bye for now.